Good afternoon to you once again. Yes, my name is Constance Mega. So this is the last lap of the conversation for today, and we'll be looking at what is happening today all over the world. The boy child. Yeah, the boy child. It's the International Day of the Boy Child, and this happens every 16th of May. All right? So now you know that there is a special day dedicated to celebrating the boy child. So in case you are one of those people who are already beginning to get agitated, perhaps you're beginning to feel your body is beginning to bite you, right? Because of all the advocacies centered around the girl child. Yeah? All right. Today is the day we get to talk about the boy child, okay? And it's different from International Men's Day. So there is an International Men's Day. So there is a day of men. The same way you have International Women's Day. And the same way you have International Day of the Girl Child, you now have the Day of the Boy Child. All right? Okay, so this is actually a day that a particular person actually started it. The pioneer in the struggle to focus attention on the boy child. His name is Jerome Tilak Singh. And this particular move was started about 5 years ago. Yeah. It was adopted by the United Nations in around 2018. And ever since then, this recognition has been on. All right. So the theme for today is centered around the mental health of the boy child. And I like that. All right, so you get ready for that conversation. I will not be talking about this alone, okay? I'm going to have someone in the studio with me to properly talk about all that we can talk about today concerning the boy child. All right? So the question that I'm posing right now, you can as well head on to Facebook and join the conversation right there. The question I'm asking is, how can the boy child be raised to become a wholesome man? Yeah, it may sound like a very long question, but I'm asking for the how. All right? How? There's a lot of pressure human beings face. Even animals face pressure. But even at that, there's a pressure that the boy child faces that the girl child does not face. In as much as we live in a society where it's called a patriarchal society. It's more like the men have the upper hand. But even at that, there are societal norms, societal beliefs, cultural beliefs, religious beliefs, all of those stuff. That somehow is putting a lot of pressure on the boy child, and it's also affecting the raising of these boys to become wholesome men. And I'm really interested in that wholesomeness, because we have a lot of people, they are men, they are grown up physically. You can see the person and say, oh, that's a man, but is he whole? Right? So how can the boy child be raised to become a wholesome man? That's the question. Get on Facebook right now and join the conversation on Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. That's our page on Facebook. You can also tweet at Nigeria Info PH, all right? Or send a message via WhatsApp to 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416. Okay, so yeah, we already started the conversation, and joining me for this right now, I have with me in the studio Ijawele Chimamaka Obonna, who is a gender advocate. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
So I saw somewhere, I don't know whether it was on Facebook or where, that you are a book chef. All right. What kind of challenge are you going to be doing real soon to break a Guinness World Record as a book chef?
Maybe the longest book ever read.
Okay.
Who knows?
You stand for like 100 hours plus.
Reading,
right?
All right.
Okay, she said it first here on Nigeria Info, so you can hold her to that. Okay, welcome once again, Chimamaka.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's just start off this way. Okay, because very soon we'll be going on a commercial break. Now, a lot of people, I have even heard people, okay, more like say, oh, there are so many advocacies here and there for the girl child, and they believe that the boy child has been neglected. More like, with all this talk about the girl child, we've forgotten that the boy child is really there. So I'm asking, has the boy child been neglected, or is he still automatically covered by the societal norms? Yes or no? Or
No.
maybe?
No.
Okay. We're going to a commercial break. When we come back, she would explain the no. All right? So do stay tuned. We're still discussing the boy child, and we're looking at how can the boy child be raised to become a wholesome man. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. It's International Day of the Boy Child. All over the world, it is being observed. Okay? And of course, with me in the studio is Ijawele Chimamaka Obonna, who is a gender advocate. And before we went on that break, I asked her a question. I asked, has the boy child been neglected? And she said no. So this is the time you get to help us understand why you said no.
No, your question was sort of different. My no meant
Okay.
the boy child has been neglected.
Oh, your no meant he has been neglected.
Yes, I think you rephrased the question now.
Okay, it was a 2-in-1 question. Has the boy child been neglected, or is he automatically covered by societal
I think the
norms?
second one, that's why I said no, it's not been covered.
Okay.
There's clearly a gap. The boy child has really been neglected. I usually love to use real life experiences to
Okay.
explain. I'm a mom of 5.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, 3 of whom are boys.
Ouch.
And I can tell you that usually in this part of the world, the parenting style that the parents subscribe to different parental styles depending on the gender of their children. For instance, if a parent has twin children, boy and girl, you would notice that the attention is more on the girl child than the boy child. Most of the time you hear them out. And because a girl gets pregnant and brings shame, they have to pay attention. And in doing that, in turning the focus on the girl all these years, we neglect the boy child. The boy child is left to navigate the world on his own. There is a very serious problem. I have my first son. I noticed that even with all the work I'm doing to ensure that he understands, I want him to become a wholesome adult. I don't want a dysfunctional male child. Yet, there's a problem with society. He interacts with his environment, the school, church, people around him. I noticed that recently he's always ashamed to cry. He hits his foot, he hurts, and he wants to keep it all in and act all macho and all of that. Why? Because most of the time, what we do is teach the boy child to be a man instead of being a human being. Do you understand? We are supposed to teach them to be men, to be humans, and not necessarily to act macho or all masculine. I was going through Facebook yesterday and I saw a video of a wedding where the man was crying. I took screenshots. You won't believe that the people bashing him and calling him a simp because he was crying at his wedding were all female women. So when are we going to raise the kind of men we want our daughters to marry? We want them to be with the right man. We want the child, the girl child. We cry, we clamor for girl child, the girl child, the girl child. Yet, we do not want to pay attention to the boy child. By the time we keep churning out men who are stones, because we teach them, we make stones out of them. They don't want to show their emotions. They need to hide to cry. We lost a family member last year. At the burial, something happened. His first child and first son is only 15. He was 15 at the time, should be 16 this year. I noticed something. This boy would come to all of us, the aunts, and he would hug us and say, "Auntie, don't cry. Don't cry. It's my dad. It's fine. Don't cry. It's okay. I'm here. I'm here."
Imagine.
And I just could not. I knew something had gone wrong with him.
Wow.
You know what had happened? I knew that was the beginning of the end of his childhood. Probably people have been telling him, you need to man up.
You are now the man of the house.
You are now the man of the house. You need to take care of your mom. You need to take care of your siblings. You need to take care of everyone. So
you can't be crying.
You can't be crying. You shouldn't show emotions. So what happens? That's where what we call parentification begins, where there's a role reversal. A child functions as a parent. A child offers emotional support to a parent instead of the parent doing that for the child. What do you think would happen to a child whose childhood is cut abruptly? He grows up at 15 and suddenly he needs to act like a man of 30 or 40. So what kind of a man would it be? How would he interact with society? How would he interact with people around him?
Now, there are people who believe, even though you mentioned it in passing, there are people who believe that it is easier to raise a boy child than it is to raise a girl. Is there any truth in this?
There shouldn't be, but yes, it's true that people think like that.
Okay.
People think that it's easier to raise a boy child. And like I mentioned earlier, it's because the biological makeup of a female child comes with clear responsibilities, and you can see that the girl child may bring shame when the girl. That's how we think in this part of the world. When the girl gets pregnant, people point accusing fingers and say you didn't raise your daughter well. But they feel that for the boy, he's a boy now. He can just figure things out on his own. What's the worst that could happen? That's what we ask. So we forget that beyond whatever happens to the boy physically, and of course you know that even the boy child can be molested, as we see so many cases these days. So we feel that his emotions, we shouldn't pay attention to these things. However, it turns out tomorrow, what's the worst? He gets married, he has children,
He starts
and of
his
course,
own family.
his own family and financial responsibilities. You hear parents, I don't know if you've noticed this, a woman complains about her husband, for instance, and they ask you, does he feed the house?
Mm-hmm.
Does he provide for you? Are your children well taken care of? You say yes, I beg, go and rest. You don't have a case. So clearly, that's the problem.
So it's more like there's no focus on even what matters, the mental and emotional state of a man. It's more like physically, is he well and able to provide? If the answer is yes, are we crying?
Then all is well.
He's fine now.
He's fine.
He's feeling hot. He will get over it.
You get.
So we're not really relating with what is really important that could affect his physical well-being, which is his mental health. All right. So let's talk about, apart from the mental health, right? There are other aspects of the male human being that over the years society has neglected, even maybe because of cultural beliefs or religious beliefs, or whatever belief there is, apart from the mental health aspect. Now, we have seen so many cases. You've talked about one aspect, though, the part where the man is also a victim of sexual abuse. Peer pressure. These are also some of the things that society has really not paid attention to. We're more interested in what's happening with the girl. So can you speak to that a little bit?
Okay. You won't believe that as old as I am, I get really embarrassed. I get embarrassed when I see a man cry. I don't know. Have you seen a man like really cry before you? What did you feel?
I felt... Okay, here it goes.
Did you feel the same way you would have felt if it were a woman?
Yeah, that's the thing. So I felt the same heartbreak I would have felt if it were a woman crying. And then there was also that feeling of feeling proud of the man for crying. Yeah.
Should it have been the case?
It shouldn't have been the case.
That's the problem. Because it's when I see a man cry, I feel an unsettling apprehension. Like, what do I say? How do I console him? Where do I start from? You understand? Because it's like his tears are so precious, so precious. How many men cry? And if the person is doing that, I beg, I don't know how to handle this. Culturally, I'm from the eastern part of Nigeria. We see so much pressure. You even see people saying, my friend, my man, go and look for money. Go and hustle. Don't tell me nothing. And then you have women, and it makes society and the men objectify the woman. We create the problem, and yet we come out to cry that, we are being treated differently as women. A man my age, for instance, that's how I challenge myself to as a woman. A man my age would have been raising a family of his own, basically being the sole provider in most cases, financial breadwinner, everything of the family. So much pressure is put on him to meet up. And that is why we see men say, leave these emotions first. Leave love aside. Let me hustle first. After then, we can talk about this. So, we keep having issues of families, problems in families where women feel very discontent with their marriages. This man, I don't know.
There's a disconnect.
Yes.
I mean, he's there, I'm here.
He's there, I'm here.
He's there, we are here.
You follow Facebook and all the hide my identity cases. It's on the rise. because women are we are emotional beings. And I dare say that men are also emotional beings.
They're human beings.
You know, they are human beings. They feel pain, they feel joy, they feel all the emotions. It's not emotions and it's not gender sensitive. You understand? So because our culture places so much pressure on the men, especially financially, you see them, everything they're wiring, everything they're thinking is how to hustle, how to meet up, how to make money anyhow. You know, and every other thing that they should also pay attention to, they keep it by the side. You see, children in families, we have a mom, a mother, and a father. Yet, it feels as if the mother is a single parent. The father is just there, buys gifts, provides. Oh, are you ready for vacation? We take you on vacation anywhere you want to go. Yet, there's a problem. It's because of these pressures, these issues. And it is time, I don't know if I should talk about that, the trauma, some of these men, when in families, your child is crying, your child is trying to talk to you, tell you what is going on, how they feel, say, keep quiet. What is it? Don't you know that you're a man? Don't you know that you're a boy? Why are you crying as if you're a girl? And then they begin to internalize
the wiring starts from while they were
there. Yes, they
really
begin
young.
to internalize these things. Okay, I'm supposed to behave a certain way. I'm not supposed to show emotions and all of that. And then a child internalizes this until the child becomes an adult. A proverb says, you can't learn to be left-handed at old age. So if we want to get it right, if we want to stop clamoring for the girl child, we must also pay the same attention, the same the same input we put, the same effort we put to raise the girl child is the same that we should do for the boy child. So I also think that the problem we have is that we think that we should raise the girl and train the boy. You
interesting.
See, we feel that the girl child should be raised while the boy child should be trained. That's a very big problem.
So one is more like a soldier, and the other one
just
is
equipped with all the skills, life-saving skills that he needs to succeed, while the girl should be raised, prim, proper, marriageable, moral values, everything. So it shouldn't be so.
Oh, how interesting. So let's say, on the issue of gender equality and equity, that's something that a lot of people still do not understand. So if you were to explain that, you have 3 boys, right? So if you were to explain gender equality and equity, and also differentiate it to your boys, how would you say it?
There's an argument. Okay. People say some wives, because I read a lot of feedback from Facebook and other social media handles. People say, me, I'm not looking for equality with my husband, though. What I'm looking for is equity. I read that sometime and I was curious. I said, wow, okay. So we have fractions of people who feel that I'm not supposed to ever be the same, be given the same opportunities or treated the same way a man is treated. Clearly, I'm below. So what we should be talking about should be equity, some sort of fairness, anyhow it comes, So being a mom of 5, 2 are my girls and 3 boys, I would say that for gender equality, that's what I stand. I don't even want to talk about equity because I am for equality. I want my boys to be given the same opportunities, the same treatment, the same efforts I put in raising my girls. If my girl child is approaching puberty, we have heart-to-heart talk as parents. We talk about menstruation, we teach. But who does that for the boy child? Do we do we call them
there's no menstruation
to have do we call them to have heart-to-heart conversations? They are struggling. They want to make sense of the pubic. It begins with the very day a child is born. And for me, I have to give my children, my boys, the same amount of attention I pay to my girls, because in the end, my girls are not going to exist in another planet, right? Mm-hmm. So if I leave my boys to navigate the world on their own, in the end, after you've put all the effort to raise your girl child well, she's going to maybe end up with my boy, and who knows? And then the circle continues.
Crazy stuff, really. All right, so let's get to the phone lines, and then I'll still come back to Chimamaka. So I'm asking you, how can the boy child be raised to become a wholesome man? What do you think? Parents, the society, teachers, guardians, what do you think is the how they should employ or deploy to ensure they raise our boy children to become wholesome men? The numbers to call are 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0002, or 0817-923-0007, 0817-923-0007. You can as well send a message via WhatsApp to 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. Get on Facebook and also join the conversation right there at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. All right, we have Stephen from Port Harcourt. Hello, Stephen.
Good day. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. You're welcome. Go on, please.
Thank you for this topic. I just want to say a few words here.
All right.
You see, the society we are living in currently now, it's really changing. You understand? Parents no longer give that attention to the children, especially the male child. I've known of a lady who only cares for our girl child. She only gives the boy hard works. You understand? Whenever she's going out for maybe hard something, market, anything that is hard, maybe loads, she carries this boy, you understand? There's one time I've told her that the stress you're giving this boy is too much. At least she's a girl too. Let her, she said, no. She's my pet, oh. She's my pet. Let him carry it. No, so for me, the society is changing. The society is really affecting.
Okay, we already highlighted that. So that's why I'm asking for the how to get it right. That's actually the question.
Okay, they should treat the same way they're treating the girl child. Whatever thing they're doing to the girl child, they should do it to the boy too. Not just leaving the boy alone.
All right. Thank you very much for calling, Stephen. All right, we have Good Luck from Andoni. Hello, Good Luck. Hello. Good Luck, you are on. I can't hear anything. Hello, Good Luck. All right, you're going to have to call back. Good Luck. Okay, this message is here on Facebook. James Ndamani says he needs frequent efforts. All right, and he's watching from where? Okani. Amagunze, Kano East in Enugu State. All right, James Ndamani. Okay. Obiene Isaiah says, nice topic. Okay. Thank you for acknowledging. Another person still says, very interesting topic. Benita Ezine Eluchuku. Okay, let's see another one here. Constance, good afternoon. When a girl thing or things are discussed, it is always done by the woman. A boy thing is discussed now and is still by a woman. Why? Don't we have men who are gender advocates as well? Oh, well, if you know men who are gender advocates as well, you can as well recommend, okay? That's it. Thank you very much. But you want to say something concerning what we're discussing. I mean, you are a man. You should know the how to raising a boy child to become a wholesome man. Okay? Thank you very much. And I'm seeing another person, trying to come up with the same narrative. So I brought a gender advocate who happens to be a mother to 3 boys. And some people are still doing, he loves the girls, he loves the boys. Really? Okay, we have Emmanuel. Where's Emmanuel calling from? Emmanuel is calling from Port Harcourt. Okay. Welcome on board, Emmanuel.
The issue on ground about boy child.
Yeah, I already asked a question. I'm sure you heard my question, Emmanuel.
Look, can you ask the question again?
So I'm asking, how can the boy child be raised to become a wholesome man?
Okay, a boy child can be raised to become a wholesome man by, first of all, teaching him morals.
Really?
The father and the mother should be involved. Because in our society now, we are concentrating on the girl child. But the boy child is becoming so turbulent in training because a girl child can have only the issue of going out with a man or sleeping around. But a boy child can enter into fraudulent activities, into betting, into all kinds of immorality, homosexuality. So when you sit down, family values of fraudulent activity, then the child can grow up to become a human being.
Interesting. All right, thank you. Thank you very much for calling, Emmanuel. So he's saying morality should also be taught the males as well. It's not just the girl child that should be getting all of that attention in that regard. All right. Before we hear from Francis, Peter Bright Chemena from Momoma says, good afternoon. The society entirely pays too much attention on the girl child that they forget that the boy child exists and also has feelings and affections. Preferential treatment and adequate care should be given to both the girl and the boy child for we to have a balanced society. All right, thank you very much. Francis is calling from Port Harcourt Town. Hello, Francis.
Can you hear me, please?
I can hear you, Francis. Go on.
All right. You get in the house and to the anchor of the program. I must say it is very sensitive and informative.
Francis, your line is breaking. I know that it's been raining. I think that's what's affecting the call.
But I can hear you clearly.
Wow. All right, go ahead. I think it's better now.
Yeah. The deformity we see in society today is not a result of the innocence of the children. I think it's lack of information on the part of the parents. Yes, a good father will produce a good son or a good daughter. Now, talking about training the girl child or the male child, I believe in treating everyone as a human. There are certain qualities you must inculcate in a girl child, and there are certain qualities you must inculcate in a boy child. So you strike a balance. Yes, you know where to anchor A and know where to anchor B. After all, they are both children. And none is special, none is less special. They're all creatures from God. I think if we can strike a balance on this matter, then we'll have a beautiful family and a happy society. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Francis. Benita Izine Elochukwuibe on Facebook says the boy child should be given as much attention given to the girls. Let them engage in house chores, get involved in the know. Parents should also instill morals, teach their sons that real men don't hit women. Okay. Do you want to react to what they've said so far?
Yes. I know that one of the best thing parents can do and should do for the boy child is to encourage emotions. I think that's the problem we are facing. Encourage emotions. Let the boy know that it is fine to feel something. It is okay. In fact, I was just telling someone that there is a problem and parents should brace up right now. There are so many voices coming up on social media and saying, I don't know if you've read them, I don't want to mention names. They say there's an attack. 30 above 30 women. Don't do this with them. Don't marry them. Don't do this. Trying to indoctrinate the boys. If you're crying, if you marry a woman who has a child before, if you do this, if you do that, you're a simp. You're a simp. You're a simp. There is a problem. In fact, the parenting of this age is tougher than it used to be.
It's not just about the people in your neighborhood now.
It's not.
It's not about the family members.
Yes, it's not. Before, it was even a lot easier, And that's why you come to a normal Igbo society, you see children bearing names like Adora, Obiora, Nwora. That's child of the people. Now we no longer have that communal setting where people pay attention to other people's children other than theirs. Everybody is busy, hustling, making money. Nobody is there to help you raise your own child.
Well, let's go on a commercial break again. We'll be right back. Do stay tuned, please.
The show continues after this break.
Still in the studio with me, and of course talking about how we can raise, remember the word raise, I actually had to use that word intentionally, talking about how we can raise the boy child to become a wholesome man. Okay. Usually there are so many stories about what's been happening to the boys, suicide, depression, and all of that stuff, right? And because we are also in a society where there's a lot of attention given to girls, that even now when it comes to the issue of sexual abuse and all that, the girls are beginning to be taught on how to more like help themselves in such situations, right? So with that in mind now, how can we also encourage the boy child or spur him to take his life in his own hands without necessarily making a stone out of him in the process?
Like I said before, there's work to do. If you're a parent, brace up. There is a lot of work to do. And parents should begin to deliberately, intentionally search for resources that would help them raise wholesome children, boy or girl. You remember when we talked about this show, you asked, you're a gender advocate. Should I say gender? Should I say boy child?
Yeah.
I was intentional when I said just gender advocate. Why do I have to show whose side I'm on? If I'm on the girl's side or on the boy's side? That was intentional. So I wrote a book.
Okay.
and it's filled with it's a story.
Okay.
So we follow this protagonist, and people have said, people who reviewed the book have said that, see, it's good that we have resources where it's something.
Oh, okay.
We have so many books like that. There was a lot of research done. So many books, do this, do that, do that. I wanted results. And how do I achieve that? I wanted parents to go on a journey through the mind of children, to see from the perspective of children. Sometimes we feel that these children do not know. You say, I don't want to tell my child this. I don't think he knows. When you are training, when you're raising your children, your boys can tell that the way you treat your girls and the way you treat them is clearly different. And you feel they don't see, they don't know, but they have these conversations at school. They talk to their classmates.
All right.
So.
Okay. So sorry. Time has actually caught up with us. We have the news coming up at 3:00. But, well, of course, thank you very much. Ijawele Chimamaka Obonna, gender advocates. Thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you very much.
And thank you also for advocating for the boy child. As much as you do. It's a great thing that you're doing. What was that book again? The
Boy Adult.
The Boy Adults. Very beautiful one. Thank you very much once again. All right, so that's where we draw the curtain on today's edition of The Sunny Side. I'll see you again tomorrow. Do stay tuned right here. We have the news coming right up. And, of course, afterwards, Hard Facts will take center stage. Remember to follow us on social media, Nigeria Info 92.3 PH on Facebook, Nigeria Info FM_PH on Instagram, and Nigeria Info PH on Twitter. You can also find me on Twitter, Constance Mega, and Constance Mega on Instagram and LinkedIn. God bless you.